Well, good morning from the ridge. As you can see, it is chicken butchering day. So on this video, you are gonna get to watch our process the whole way through. Today is going to be about dispatching the birds, which probably won't show you, but we'll show you the setup, and then how we process our chickens, and then I'll be waiting about 24 hours, but for you it'll be instant. And we'll go into how I process each bird into individually wrapped packaging. And then we'll flip on over into jarring up or making and jarring up all of the chicken stock that that comes from all this. I try to utilize every single bit of the chicken. So fair warning, this is a butchering video, but it is part of homesteading, and it's an extremely good skill to have. And we are really looking forward to it. And we have a couple special guests here that I will bring back after I show you guys how we're gonna get everything set up. So one of the first things that I like to do is to get my soap and bleach and water ready. So I'm a firm believer in bleach. Sorry if you're not. I worked in a butcher shop and it cleans. And so does Dawn. Dawn dish soap is actually the only one that's USDA approved for washing in there. And so what I like to do is add some soap, a little bit of bleach. And this will be for washing your utensils, your hands, because I wash down my station after every single bird, especially if there's any kind of contamination. And a brand new pack of sponges. I'm a once and done when it comes to sponges, so these will get thrown away. So I did tell you guys that we were gonna have some special guests helping us today. So my beautiful friend Missy, Eric, come on in. My handsome man's getting some last minute things done. Hi guys. And Eric, I tell you what, when the first time that we butchered chickens together, he said, tell me what I need. And I tell him what I needed, and he went and he knocked it out of the park. So, of course we have our plastic here. This is just leftover greenhouse plastic, but I always like to cover our tables, that way, you know, it stays clean. And Eric, tell us what else you brought.
We brought the tables, the table legs.
So the tables
So
are
it's
higher.
raised
So
up.
the tables are higher.
And that's what size is this?
That is 1-inch PVC, and it's cut to 2 feet, which gives us an extra 8 inches of leg room to bring this table up so our backs don't hurt.
Because I know some of y'all have been asking, hey, how did he get the table so tall? 1-inch
1-inch PVC.
PVC.
Yep.
And then we have the bus tubs that were sent to us by
Pam B
and
Joe Cole.
and Joe
Thank
Cole.
you, Pam B and Joe Cole.
I know, they came in so handy.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
they're
do.
so nice. Some knives.
Gotta have your good knives.
Got some shears for the bones. And words are hard, guys. Jason and Tara are not bagging their birds. We bag our birds, but we have a couple of steel straws so that they're very easy to sanitize. You put that down in the bag. When you dunk the bag, it lets all the air out so the bag can shrink. But we won't need these today, so. And then
And these
cutting
work
trays.
the best too. Yep. We went and got those. And of course we have our awnings up because it's gonna be a hot one, guys.
Gonna be? I think it already
already-
surpassed
It
that.
already is.
It's pretty melty out
Yep.
here.
And so we're gonna set up the table, how it works and very efficiently for us. So I'll speed that part up and you can watch us set up the rest of the table. I'll bring you back and I'll take you on to the next step. right, guys, so that was just setting up the table, and we decided to work smarter, not harder. I am smart for some things, guys. When this cooler is full of 37 birds, it's going to be very heavy. And ice and water. So we are going to be able to load the birds directly into the cooler and go park the side-by-side in the shade down by the tiny house, which is where I'm going to be processing these birds. So come along, I'm going to show you the killing station. So Eric made this, and it has worked out wonderful. He did 2x4s and true 2x4 uprights, and then he made his own killing cones. And we found out the first batch what was going to work as far as cone size, and so we're pretty dialed in. We pretty much know what we're going to be doing, and the birds will be in here to be dispatched for a quick and painless dispatch. Over here we have our boil station, and it's run off of LP, and this is where we will dunk the chickens and get them ready to be defeathered. The chicken plucker, and it's amazing. It makes our jobs so much easier. After they're scalded, they'll go into here, and it spins, and it takes off all the feathers. This is also Eric's, and I tell you what, guys, he was so ambitious. Before he'd even raised one chicken, he had this. That means business, right, Eric?
That's right. We bought this before we even moved to our homestead. And let me tell you guys,
it's a game changer.
This is your first investment after you buy your property.
Yeah.
I will not do chickens without a chicken plucker, period.
Yeah, and we were actually going to buy one. That was on our list of things to buy. That was going to be that first needed necessity. But in keeping with homesteaders' spirit, we can't do everything alone, but we can do everything together.
That's right.
And when we became friends with Tilted K, we pool our resources because we're stronger as a team than we are as individuals. And so thankfully, we did not have to buy the chicken plucker.
That's right. And we have a built-in professional teacher to show us everything we need to know.
Yeah. So, all right, we're going to finish getting set up. I'll bring you back. And like I said, we're not going to show you the actual dispatch, but I'll bring you back and take you on the next step after that. Okay, so we are getting ready to start, guys. But I wanted to go over a few other things that I think are really, really important when you're butchering chickens. Ladies, because most of the time the men are doing that, we're doing this, but I've also done that and they've done this. So I'm only speaking to the ladies here or whoever's going to be doing this. A headband is a must.
Yeah.
When you're butchering chickens, you don't want to be touching your face. You don't want anything, you know, and it never fails, your hair will get in your face. You can make it look cute. You can sport your earrings. You do you, boo. And yeah, make it look pretty, ladies, if you want. I do. And then the other thing is you're going to want a good pair of water boots. I say good pair, and I only mean whatever works for you, right? And then, of course, our aprons. You want to protect your clothing. I love Tilted K's aprons. They're a little bit more bigger than this one. I wish I would have gotten that, but you can see I paint in this. I do everything in this.
But yours has a pocket.
It does. I have pockets. I got pockets. So anyway, guys, make it look good if you want. I know I try because, you know, even though we're homesteaders, we're still ladies. But, right? Missy, she's sporting the headband too.
I learned last time that my hair was sticking to my face and I was like trying to get it off.
Yep. All right. So, babe, come on in. Let's tell them what our next step is. I mean, because we're not going to show it, but...
Whack them, stack them.
No. The next step is we give thanks for our birds. We don't take killing any animal lightly. We thank it for providing for us and the needs that our family has as humans to eat. They are still alive, and we thank them for providing this meat for us. So I'll go. And
it's a very quick process, y'all. It's one of those that there's 19 million ways of doing it. The way that we do it, it's quick, simple, easy, and you know, because you don't want the animal to suffer no matter what, and it's going to provide us food. And the less it suffers and fights and does all that, the better the product is in the end.
Yeah.
So
we humanely dispatch all of our animals in the quickest way and the fastest way possible. It's just the right thing to do. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and get started. And once we get them in the cone and they're dispatched, I'll give you guys a quick look at that. And then we'll get started on the next process, which will be the dunking.
One little thing I've learned from experience, guys, when you put this bird in the kill cone, you want to do it butt away from you, not butt toward you, because they could poop.
All right, guys. So now it's been dispatched. We let it bleed out for a minute. Now we're gonna go in the scalding tank. It's got the propane running. We're actually above 150. We're about 180, so it's perfect right now. Do a few little dunks, and then it's gonna go into let's try it. We found out to turn it on before you, or put the bird in before you turn it on.
Oh, he's so little. Must have been a female.
A few little pin feathers. Yeah. And now from here, it goes to the ladies.
It's just a little cut, but of course it's a scale cut.
Okay, so we have our first bird, and just like there's 100 ways to skin a cat, there's 100 ways to butcher a chicken. This is the way I have always done it. They're smaller than I would like them to be, but we did not free range them, so they weren't getting the protein from the bugs and grass and stuff. So I'm gonna bring you in real close. I'm gonna show you how I do it, and we'll make quick work of it. Oh, and disclaimer, these are for our own consumption. If I were doing this to sell or something like that, I would wear gloves, but I know I am clean, and so I want to make sure that, you know, you just know that it's okay if you're doing it for yourself not to wear gloves. The first thing that I like to do is I take off the foot, and there's a joint right here that you can kind of score through and kind of break it through, and then you're able just to kind of just chop it right off. And you can feel it. It's like, I always tell the kids when I'm training them that it's like the valley between two mountains. Because you want to let the knife do your work, make sure that the knives are all sharp, and you can just cut those right through. And of course, there are a few pin feathers that you just pop on out. So then the next thing you want to do is there's this skin that's on the back of the, and you want to just make sure that you're not going to puncture anything in there. So I go ahead and just kind of work my way down to the tail feather, and you can cut right through that as well. I don't keep that. And then I go ahead and just kind of sometimes the membrane you can just kind of slice it up, but you don't want to pierce anything inside, right? And you want to kind of push your fingers up and run it. She's a tiny bird.
There.
Run it all the way that you can pull, and then it should just pull right out. And kind of, I always check out the health of my birds too when I'm looking at them. Make sure that, you know, I'm not seeing anything that is diseased or that was a clean cavity. So that's all it is, guys. I'm done. So we're gonna go over here and we're gonna rinse it off, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put it into the cooler. And then it goes in. And once I get a few in there, I'll add some water, because you want them to kind of go through that rigor mortis stage. So I leave mine alone for about 24 hours before I start processing them. So now that you've seen it done once, I'm gonna go ahead and stick it on time lapse, and we're gonna knock these birds out. are done. We got
D-U-N done.
37 birds in an hour and 15 minutes.
Not too shabby.
Not too shabby.
Yeah.
So, of course, us women, we were way faster than the guys were.
Nobody likes a bragger.
I
We
know.
had the hard part.
I know.
You have to wait for the bird to bleed out.
Okay, this is true. So, we want to thank Eric and Missy again for a wonderful
Absolutely.
time together. We're going to go
Always.
Yeah,
eat
guys,
fellowship.
not only
Always.
it's not only the fact that you came and
With my
physically
sweaty
helped,
cheek on yours.
How are we doing that?
but I don't know. There's stuff going on.
The awkwardness.
Sweaty
Oh,
blood. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But not only did they come and help like physically with the labor part, but then they brought
I
everything
forgot
to do
how
it.
sweaty
So
you
Oh,
would be.
yeah. Yeah. So we're going to have some fellowship time. And I will bring you guys back tomorrow in the kitchen. So peace out from the ridge. And just like that, we're back. So I am getting my station set up, and it is the next day, and we are processing, well, I am processing our meat birds. So I'm going to take you guys along with the process, and there again, this is the way I do it. You can choose to do it however you like. So maybe you'll pick up some tips and tricks, maybe you won't, but that's how we're going to do it. So first off, it's important to have your entire station set up. You want to make sure you have everything you need. So I always have my knife, I have my sharpener, I have a little trash bowl, my Sharpie, and my carcass bowl, which all of this will get made into chicken stock. I have a pan here that I'm bringing the birds in 2 at a time, and I'll end up with these. So I put them into sizes for what works for our family, and if I need extra, I can just take out extra. So not a big deal. And then I keep a running bag of wings and drumsticks. So that way they're all mixed separately, but I still know everything that they are. Everything you see is thrifted. I'm not joking. Okay, maybe Jason's knife. I don't know. I don't know where he got that. My grandma got me that. We did pick up this wonderful cutting board at a roadside flea market for $1, so I can't beat that. And of course, you guys have all seen my food saver. Picked this up with 2 big boxes of bags for 20 bucks at a thrift shop. I've already gone through those bags. And then I picked up this whole bag of food saver bags at a thrift shop for $1.50. So just kind of goes to show that you don't have to have a lot of money invested in this. It's just finding the right pieces that work. So I'm going to bring you guys in a little closer, and I'm going to show you how I start to debone and process up these chickens. and that's how I do my chickens. There's combinations of different techniques or whatever. This one is all right. I'm not 100% happy with the size that the birds were. I probably could have let them go another week or two and maximize the meat. That was the intention. Time happens, so I'm gonna go ahead, stick y'all on time lapse because I have 37 birds to piece out. Well, yeah, by myself. So stick around, I'm gonna show you guys this. I just brewed another pot of coffee because I think I'm gonna need it. And this one's my pecan coffee from the Cuddly Texan, so thank you. So welcome back. We are done with processing all the chickens into their respective bags, and now I'm going to take them, the carcasses, and make broth with them. So I'll walk you through the process, and then I'll bring you back and we'll jar it up, and then we're going to go into the pressure canner. So I have already boiled all of my rings and my lids. And I've also ran all of my jars through the dishwasher to sterilize the jars. So I've got my little station here ready to roll, and we're gonna start jarring it up. So I am going to pull out all of the veggies in here, and I'm saving the carrots because we enjoy them and we love them. If I weren't doing 37 birds in one day, I would probably pick through and pull out all the shredded chicken, but nah, we're just gonna make it into treats. If you want to do a full strain of the broth before you jar it up, feel free. I like to leave all the seasonings and stuff in there. I feel it just adds to the flavor of the broth. So I am not going to strain this, and I'm going to add it directly to my jars. So once I get down to the bottom of the bowl, then I do run it through a strainer, just directly right over the funnel in the jar, because there are still some larger bits down at the bottom that I don't want. And then I take the juices also from the strained bits and add that to my jars too. And I'm not really sure, I count on 6 quarts per Instapot. So sometimes there's less, sometimes there's more, depending on the size of the bird. So I always want to give myself just a little bit of space at the top so that I can go back and add a little bit more later. Now that I have the jars filled, I'm going to put a teaspoon of salt, canning salt, in each of the jars. It's optional. I like our stock to have just a little bit of that salt flavor. I like to add it here, then add it later. So I have secured the lid onto the pressure canner, and now I want to make sure that I'm getting steady stream out of this little nozzle right here for a good 5 minutes or so. I did make sure I had plenty of water in there, and then as this is steaming up, I'm going to put my weight on here. So I'll walk you guys through that. And pressure canning is really not that difficult, guys. It's a little intimidating just because you're working under pressure. But if you follow all the guidelines and follow all the rules, you're not going to have any trouble. So while I'm waiting for this to start steaming so where I can put my weight on it, I'm going to go ahead and get the next batch ready to go, because I'm only 3 batches in, guys, and I had 37 birds, and I do 4 birds in a pot. So do the math. I'm going to be here a while. So I'm not going to film all of that, but I'll bring you guys back when I go to set this to temp and for time. So I'll see you in a bit. I just want to thank you guys for coming along with us on this chicken butchering journey. So it is so wonderful to be able to provide food for our family and grow it here on the homestead and utilize so much of everything that we grow here for the purpose of our nourishment. And I know some parts may not be for everybody, but I hope that this was a good learning experience and a little bit more of a step-by-step than any previous videos that we've done on the chicken videos. So thank you guys for being here. If you like what you see, there's more to come. There's gonna be way more to come. So stick with us. See you later. Bye.